Hi and welcome back. You're with Terry from Bonsai Tree, and today I'm going to be working on this imported Taiwanese juniper. I imported it a couple of years ago and I've just allowed it to grow and get nice and strong. And this will actually be the first time that I'm going to work on this tree. I absolutely love the way that this tree intertwines and curls and bends in all sorts of different directions. And a lot of the dead wood that you would see on it is extremely old as well. The first step in working on this juniper will be to remove the old bark. This is not just an aesthetic thing, although it does look very nice and it enhances the contrast between the living vein and the dead wood. But it also has a functional purpose, and that is that it prevents insects from hiding below the bark. Getting the bark off these junipers is a relatively straightforward and easy task. I would recommend that you use a blunted tool rather than a sharp one, something like a blunt chisel, or as I'm using here, a gin tool that's actually specifically designed for the purpose. Otherwise, you're going to find that you're going to nick into the live tissue too much. And it's fairly easy to see that when you do it, because it's a very light color in comparison to the surface. This gin tool is also very useful for getting into these very tight corners where you have a live vein that has actually now become quite pronounced and is swelling over the dead wood. For larger areas where you need to quickly remove bark, you can do so with another type of gin tool, which actually acts as a bit of a scraper. And you can use it to shape dead wood as well. A steel brush can be very useful for removing built-up debris or otherwise even giving texture to the surface of dead wood. A pressure gun can also be extremely useful for getting dirt out of little corners and crevices, as well as just generally washing off dead wood. If you don't have a pressure gun, that's perfectly fine. A nylon brush will do a fantastic job as well. After I finished cleaning the tree, I was now ready to move on to the next and most exciting part, which is of course the wiring and styling. Before wiring, you can save a lot of time by first cleaning out the structure of the tree. So this refers to branches that are growing directly up or branches that are going straight down. Those can be eliminated and in favor of keeping branches growing horizontally. Where you have opportunities to do so and you have to remove a branch of significant thickness, of course don't cut it all the way back down. You do want to leave a stub, and then you can create a gin with that. This tree will be wired using copper wire, which has a considerably better hold than aluminium wire, and you can also use thinner and less wire to do the wiring work that you need to do. It's a great idea to terminate your wire at the tips using what is sometimes referred to as a pigtail, and that rounded loop actually makes it possible to angle the foliage a little bit better, especially when it's limp foliage like this. Then you can lift it up and angle it towards the sunlight a little bit better. Sometimes you'll find that it's necessary to make some pretty tough pruning decisions. Here was one of them. I found a network of branches that were growing to the back of the tree, but they'd outgrown the outline of the tree that I had visualized, and so I decided to gin the branches. A gin pliers can actually be an extremely useful tool to rapidly remove bark. There's a fair amount of negative space to the right of the tree, about midway up. I was fortunate to find a branch that I could use to bend into position and develop further in that area. Creating the structure of the foliage pads is very important at this stage because it's on this framework or skeleton that you will build all the future foliage. The apex should be constructed using all the branchlets that you have at your disposal. These branches should be spaced evenly apart. The overall effect of the crown should be that of a very rounded dome. As this work was completed in late summer, I still have the growing period ahead of me in autumn, which will then also help to fix the branches into the positions that they've been wired into. Don't be tempted to take the wire off too early, because otherwise the branches will just return back to their original positions. You of course want the wire to be removed before it is enveloped, but you do want to wait until it is biting in quite obviously and then start removing the wire that's biting in only. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't yet done so, please do like and subscribe to my channel, and until next time, take care.